Hello and welcome to the Kim Iversen Show. We do have a lot to talk about tonight, but we do want to start off with a little update from yesterday's show. Yesterday, we told you about the landmark free speech case, Missouri versus Biden, and a judge in the case ordered the government to stop contacting social media companies to censor American speech simply because they don't agree with it. Well, to no one's surprise, yesterday the government filed an appeal to the temporary injunction. So they're basically blatantly saying that they want to censor you because they don't trust you or the things you plan to say on social media. You're dangerous and you're an idiot. That's what they're saying when they press for the authoritarian ability to meet with social media companies, aka pressure them into taking down accounts or limiting certain trending ideas. You can't be trusted to say the right things, and you certainly can't be trusted to not believe bad ideas when you hear them. Well, we hope they lose, but it just goes to show the never-ending grab for power our government has. And more importantly, it shows us just how diligent we must remain in fighting back to protect our fundamental rights. However, the government does seem to at least be behaving, because immediately after the temporary injunction came down on Tuesday, the State Department canceled its regularly scheduled, believe it or not, it had regularly scheduled Wednesday meetings with Facebook. Here's the article here from the Washington Post. State Department cancels Facebook meetings after judge's censorship ruling. Says the State Department canceled its regular Wednesday meetings with Facebook officials to discuss 2024 election preparations and hacking threats, according to a person at the company. State Department officials told Facebook that all future meetings, which have been held monthly, have been canceled pending further guidance, said the person who spoke on a condition of anonymity in order to preserve their working relationship. Newsflash, you don't have a working relationship anymore. That's what that ruling was. They say that they're waiting to see if CISA cancels tomorrow, the person added, referring to the Department of Homeland Security's Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. The person at Facebook said they presumed similar meetings the State Department had scheduled with other tech companies also were canceled, but that could not be confirmed immediately. They said representatives for the State Department did not respond to a request for comment on this. CISA declined to comment. The Justice Department declined to comment, and also representatives from Google, which owns YouTube and other social media companies, also did not comment on this story. So they're bitter and upset that they're being forced to no longer collude with one another and to really, a lot of these social media companies might be remaining mum on this because they were the ones who were obviously being pressured by the government. The government was hauling them into Congress and saying, what are you doing about misinformation on your platform? What are you doing about Russian spies? What are you doing about all this data that you're selling off, Mark Zuckerberg? What are you doing about all of this to Cambridge Analytica? You need to be doing something about it. And if you don't, there's going to be hell to pay. You're going to lose Section 230. And we're going to keep carting you in here and making a mockery of you. So there's clearly a lot of pressure on these social media companies to do what the government wanted or else. That was the undertone of it. They understood that, so they started cooperating. And that's the problem. If the government is pressuring you or threatening you, or you feel like you have to, or your business is going to collapse, then that is government intrusion in your business, and that should not be allowed in this, especially in a free speech situation like this. So the social media companies might not be saying anything because they know they're still at risk. The government could still haul them in and basically rip Section 230 away from them. That could happen at any time. So I don't know if their behavior is going to be really much different than what we'd been seeing with the censorship. I mean, we see Elon Musk and he's out there like he doesn't care. He's just going to do what he wants to do for the most part. He's more afraid about losing advertisers. But a lot of these, I would imagine, social media companies are going to continue to censor users. They're going to continue to kind of pick up on the clues of what the government's dropping because they don't want to get hauled in and have Section 230 ripped away from them. I'm not really sure what the workaround is for that. But I would imagine that they're still really worried about that. So that's probably why they're not commenting to publications like the Washington Post. They're staying mum. They don't want to say anything. They don't want to piss off anybody and then have the government henchmen showing up on their front door. But have no fear. All hope for censorship isn't lost because yesterday Mark Zuckerberg's Twitter knockoff Threads was unveiled and it immediately began censoring users. So don't worry, Democrats. Zuckerberg is here. He's going to save the day, and he's going to ensure that there is still censorship in social media. So let's talk about Threads. Threads is as I mentioned, it's a Twitter knockoff, basically. I did download it as soon as it came out. So they're reporting that 10 million people have downloaded their app. They're kind of calling it a win. But a lot of us just downloaded because we wanted to know what is it? What is it like? How does it work? Is it going to be a true competitor to Twitter? I don't see it being a real competitor to Twitter because the user base is very different. It's based on Instagram, your Instagram profile. And Instagram is a very visual medium. This is where people put up pictures of themselves, their makeup, their vacations, their food, their kittens, travel, all these things they put on there. It's a visual medium. And a lot of times people who are visual are not the people that are they're not writers. Twitter is really for writers. It's for comedians, people who can make funny statements in words, right? Instagram is a visual medium. And so having all these people that are very good visually kind of transfer over to Threads automatically, it doesn't, I like looking at the makeup posts and the fashion and the food and the cats, but I don't know if I really want to know what they have to say on politics or current events. That's why I go to Twitter, because that's where people with that type of that have that thing to offer, they've been at Twitter for this entire time. So I don't think they're going to get the people over from Twitter as easily as they think they are. People on Twitter have already built their bases. They're not based on, you want to see my picture? The people that follow AOC on Twitter, for example, are not the same people who follow her on Instagram. The people who follow AOC on Instagram want to see her doing her little cooking or her little workout. Oh, I'm going to yoga today. Here's my selfie. That's a very different audience than somebody who wants to hear what AOC has to say in a tweet, whether they want to mock her or they want to follow her and revere her, right? The people that go to Instagram are going to be more your fans, less your critics. So I'm not really sure if this whole thing is going to actually transfer over as easily. Secondly, you're already in one spot. It's hard to add social media companies. It's like, oh, I got to check Facebook. I got to check Twitter. I got to check Instagram. Now I got to check Threads. Substack comes out with their own kind of Twitter light version. I mean, it's just too many places for a person to go. But let's look at the censorship. I mean, this is the other reason why it's going to fail, because they immediately do the one thing that is upsetting to everybody and why Elon Musk ultimately bought Twitter. Mark Zuckerberg doesn't strike me as the type of guy that has he's not socially savvy. I mean, social media savvy, but he's not really socially savvy. So I don't know if he fully understands the appeal of Twitter and why people were up in arms about the censorship and why they want a censorship-free platform. Even the people that criticize and say, I don't want a censorship-free platform, we should be censoring. Ironically, they don't. Deep down, they don't. They want to hear the crap that other people have to say so that they can rag on it and get mad about it. That's what they want to do. That's the whole, Twitter feeds off of anger. It feeds off of being upset and picking on people. It's unhealthy, but that's the emotion. That's the emotion. So here's some of the, I checked this out for myself just to make sure this was real. It really is censoring people. So if you try to follow someone, here's one here. Here's this is Derek Utley. He put this on Twitter. Meta, Instagram just released their new Threads platform, and I've been informed by multiple users that I'm censored on their new platform. Sheesh, a dude can't catch a break. Elon Musk doesn't have me censored. You try to follow this guy on Threads, and immediately this image pops up, and it says this account has been repeatedly posting false information that was reviewed by independent fact checkers, right? And went against our community guidelines. Are you sure you want to follow this person? Because they spread misinformation. So DC Drano is another one where this happened. Same thing. You can't follow them. Well, you can follow them. They'll let you follow them, but they're just going to give you a warning first. This also happened on Donald Trump Jr.'s account, several accounts. I don't know of any liberal accounts that they're doing this to. I don't know of any Democrats, because of course they only tell the truth. That's why, because Democrats are the truth tellers. Don't you know now? Did you get your 6th vaccine? This is because it stops the spread. You know that, right? You won't get COVID if you get 6 of those shots. It'll finally stop. So we know that Democrats are 100% the truth tellers out there. The Hunter laptop obviously was Russian disinformation. So they're never being censored. It's just these, it looks like Republicans at this point. Maybe there's some liberals that they'll start censoring, and we'll see indications of that. But they roll this out, and this is what they immediately start doing. They're also apparently collecting a lot more data. And this is what Mark Zuckerberg originally, remember what started the entire charade of social media companies, the CEOs being paraded into Congress. It started with Mark Zuckerberg. Why? Cambridge Analytica. It was the Cambridge Analytica scandal where he had to sit in there like, data from Star Trek. And he's sitting in there and he's, data from Star Trek. He's sitting there and he's, trying to answer drinking water, and they're asking about selling data, selling users' data. So this is Jack from, the original founder of Twitter. He put this, all your threads belong to us. And it shows the data privacy, that these are all the things that the developer, Instagram, these are the things that they're getting, the data linked to you. They're going to collect this and it's going to be linked to your identity. Health and fitness, financial information, contact information, user content, browsing history, usage data, sensitive info, identifiers, search history, contacts, location, purchases, other data. So basically everything they're going to be collecting in Mark Zuckerberg's threads. So all the more reason to run to it, use it, switch from Twitter. Why do you need free speech? You don't need free speech. You need censorship. That's what you need. So, and you need your data collected. You need to be watched. You need to be watched, and you need to be moderated, and you need to be censored because you're an idiot. So it's collecting data, it's censoring people, it's doing all these things. So one big question is, what is the point of this? Why did Mark Zuckerberg really believe that he could actually go up against Twitter, a platform that's already there, already built, people are already on it? I mean, look, I'm all about competition. If you can create a better product, then by all means create a better product. That is what Rumble has been doing against YouTube. So nobody is saying we should just have one option and that's it, and it's already built, so why compete? It's just that if you're going to compete, you need to come out with a better product. Mark Zuckerberg's he hasn't come out with a better product. He's come out with a product that goes back to the product we didn't want, which is the censorship product that collects all your data and follows you everywhere. So Scott Adams actually made a really good question. He posed this on Twitter. And he says, is the point of threads to make money for Meta shareholders or to claw back political influence from Twitter? This is just one reason I don't own Meta stock. Threads looks like it's screwing the shareholders to win some social credit for Zuck and political advantage for Dems. That's right, because the product isn't better. It's actually worse. So it's a worse product. So what is the point of it? Are you really, truly trying to compete because you think there's a bad product and you can make a better one? Or are you just doing it in order to run interference for Democrats, in order to gain social clout? Like, I'm going to be the hero for liberals. So you've got Elon Musk, and they're trying to purport him as this hero for conservatives. He's out there, he's like, and then, Zuckerberg, he's going to be the hero for liberals because he's going to censor you. And you need that. And so Zuckerberg is going to be the one to decide. He's going to hire the people, those independent fact checkers. How independent are they? What does that even mean, independent fact checkers? So are they not paid by Facebook? Or are they paid by Facebook? And if they're not paid by Facebook, they're paid by a company. Is that company paid by Facebook? Like, how does that work? What qualifies you as independent in that scenario? So that is what is going on with Threads. It just looks like this is, it does look like it's just running interference for the Democratic Party. It's going to do, and if it were to succeed, this is another reason for it not to succeed. Not because, this kind of goes back to, if you're a believer in healthy competition, it's not that, oh yeah, we just want Twitter to win because we just fanboy over Elon Musk or anything. It's that, for one, you'd have to have a better product, but two, Meta is not the company to be doing this. If they were to succeed, they would have 80% of the social media market share. That's nearly a monopoly. So do we really want to make Zuckerberg the monopolistic czar over social media? I don't think so. That's another reason for people to say, I don't want to use it. I'm going to delete it. I don't think it's worth anything. I saw it. I've been there. Okay. I prefer Twitter. I prefer not to have a censorship. Now, it's not that Twitter's perfect because Twitter does censor as well, but I think Zuckerberg's proving that he's going to be censoring even more. It's going to be, a liberal censorship dream, it seems like, maybe over on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. You're going to have you're not going to see any bad content. You're not going to see anything that might change your mind towards anything that's of any importance whatsoever. You could continue living in your bubble. Right, I want to tell you about 4patriots.com. It's a company that's dedicated to helping Americans prepare for whatever comes their way, whether it's a natural disaster, another pandemic, heaven forbid, or even just supplies to get you through summers and winters. 4Patriots has the products you need. They offer a wide range of survival gear like thermal blankets, generators, and water filtration kits. They also have many choices of survival food kits that range in size from 72-hour kits to a year's supply of food. And if you're worried about this summer's heat, they have a solar generator that will prevent you from having to endure those rolling blackouts. They even sell a nice little portable air machine that you can put in your shop or your garage or wherever it might get a little too hot. They also have some home and garden and camping gear. So check it out at 4patriots.com. Use the promo code Kim at checkout for 10% off your order.